Petit soirée!
I'm coming. I just set my timer. Bear with. Set my timer. Look at me, all technical. Right. Oh, let's get on the microphone. That might help. Hello, darlings. Hello. Nice to see you all. Aren't we all looking gorgeous? Well, most of us. I know I am. Anyway, do you know, I only just found out that the pub is called the Last Pub Standing. I thought it was the Last Man Standing. Which, the reason I remember that is because that's normally the guy I end up going home with at the end of the night. My friend Sharon was supposed to be here. I believe she's, I think the last time I see her, she was checking out the bouncer. So that's why you can't see one on the door. So if there's any fighting going on, you'll have me pulling you off. None of that. But because I said it was the last man standing, there's a minibus full of OAPs driving aimlessly around Norwich looking for me. So if anyone sees a minibus with old ladies on, they're from the Bowls Club. I'll just flag them down and tell them I'm in here. That'd be lovely. Yeah. So how are we? Are we all right? Yeah. This is my very first stand-up comedy gig. I'm a virgin, don't you know? I'm a virgin at this. Yes, I've never done anything like this before. I don't often get up to Norwich. I normally just sit over in my bungalow in Bustard's Green. Yes, I'm in agony aunt, you know. I do a lot of problem solving, and I've been mingling amongst you this evening, and I've got some of your problems in here that we'll get to towards the end. I'm just very conscious of the time. And yes, I think the last time I came up here, we ended up going on a gay night with all of the gays. Oh. Well, apparently you can't say that anymore. People get very offended. You have to call them by their letters. So I was up here with the BLTs, and we had a marvellous time. We ended up in a tiny little club called the Loft. Do we know it? Yes, it's very small and very dark, and there was lots of young men bumping into each other, and you know, a few of them got stuck in the corners and needed pulling off. But there we go. It was a really good night. Other than that, I've done the occasional karaoke, of which I won. Not for my voice, sadly, just for my looks. But that's obvious, isn't it? And we've done charity gigs, we've done all sorts of things, but this is my very first comedy night. Yeah. And I do love Norfolk. I do love that. I moved up years ago from Essex. Sadly, when my husband Harry passed away, he died from the big sea. Yes, we were walking past Curry's when the sign fell on his head. So I moved up here. I left him. I thought a fresh new start. And as much as I love my little bungalow in Bustard's Green, people of Norfolk they're lovely. They're lovely. Don't get me wrong. But when they find out you're not from around here, they do look at you like they've just discovered a skid mark on Hotel Tau. But then obviously after a while, after 12 years or so, eventually you're accepted. And this is where I met my friend Sharon. I don't know where she is. And she's got very similar hair to you. She's bright orange. She is. She's lovely, Sharon. Yeah, she moved up too from Essex, from a real rough council estate she moved from. Yeah, she's moved up market now. She's shoplifting in Waitrose. Yeah. Do you know, Sharon, we recently, a couple of weeks ago, me and Sharon, we went off up to Scotland for a little break, and we went to this hotel and spa. Yes, in Scotland. It was called Hotel Haggis. It's near Lockjaw. Does anybody know it? No? Well, we bought, unfortunately, we ended up booking at exactly the same time as a naturist weekend. Yes, there were these men walking around tossing their cables all over the place. Oh, disgusting. Well, anyway, going back to Sharon, I feel really bad now saying this joke because the lady's standing over the same colour hair. Well, she went and had a Brazilian. Do we know what a Brazilian is? Some of you might call it a landing strip. Well, she went and had a Brazilian, and she said to me, Betty, can you come and have a look at my Brazilian? It's amazing. And I said, do I have to, Betty? I said, come on then, drop your drawers. And she did. And to be honest, Colin did match cuffs. It looked like a fish finger, ladies and gentlemen. God, not for me, although I did have a vaginal steam, which was nice. Yeah, lovely. So have we got any single men here tonight? Where's that guy from the bar gone? I was kind of hoping I was on a promise with him. He looks like Thor's son, doesn't he? I don't know where he's gone. Have we got any single men? No? No, and if you are, you're hiding. Oh, we've got one there! Look at you, young man! Oh, hello. I'm getting your number at the end of the night. Well, my last boyfriend, he was a blind ventriloquist. And I said to him, what's a ventriloquist? And he said he puts his hand up something furry and makes its lips move, so I went home with him. And the sex was great, don't you know, but the only thing that was a bit off-putting was his dog kept staring from the corner of the room. And before him I had a lovely Spaniard, yes, a lovely Spaniard little holiday romance in Spain. And his name was Senor, yes, Senor Willie. He's lovely. And he had two boys as well. One was called Jose, and one was called Hose B. That was it. But he ended up cheating on me. He went off with a double-jointed, what are they called? Flamenco dancer. So screw him. But anyway, how are we doing for now? We're doing all right for time. Oh, I'm running out of time here. Oh, okay. So anyway, here I am. Just me and my friend Sharon, who's sodding off somewhere, and I've got to this time in life where I've done enough now. There's obviously my son Julian, he's grown up, and I've got a lovely grandchild called Ikea. He's 9 now, he's gorgeous. It's the best thing to come out of that loveless marriage, I tell you. I'm not saying my ex-daughter-in-law slept around, but she's got reviews on TripAdvisor. You know the type, wears knickers to keep her ankles warm. But anyway, he's happy now. He's more of a man, don't you know? Yes, he's quite comfortably living with a really good friend of his called Rupert, bless him. Yeah. I don't think I'm expecting any new grandchildren anytime soon. But yes, okay, we do good for time. Yes, I've made a big decision here, you know, loving my family. To do this is the very first comedy gig, like I said, I made a good decision to put my family last. Yes! And here I am, I've done radio as well recently, I've done a little radio show. Yes, my manager Jay says I've got a face for radio, so I've given that a whirl. But anyway, I think we're getting close to time here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to answer some of your problems. I've got a few of them here. Let's have a look. Are we still on? Yes? Right. It says. Right, now I won't say anybody's name for fear of embarrassing you. But I've got one here. It says, Dear Betty, I'm a member of our local book club. Can you recommend any good books? Well, I'm actually reading a book at the moment called 50 Shades of Brown. It's like 50 Shades of Grey, but it's much longer and thicker. So yes, I'd recommend that. I'd recommend getting the hard copy too. Right, what's this one? Dear Betty, I've just started my period. Should I be worried? And that's from Dave, age 52. Okay, Dave, yes, I recommend a visit to the doctors. What's this one? Dear Betty, you've got great skin. Oh, I know who you are. You have got great skin, and I was wondering what moisturiser you use. Well, darlings, believe it or not, I don't use moisturiser. If anything, I'm a little bit too moist. Don't you know, a little bit too moist. So, no, sadly I don't. It's just my genes. I'm just gorgeous. What can I say? What's this one here? Bread, milk, Jaffa cakes, tea, health, lube, nacho. Oh. Right, let's leave that one. Right, dear Betty, my new partner and I are trying all sorts of different sex positions. I want to know what comes after a 69. Well, after a $69, there's mouthwash. No. Right, last one then. Dear Betty, I recently found out that my boyfriend has a twin. I can barely tell them apart, and I nearly kissed his brother by accident the other day. What do you think? Well, I used to date a twin many years ago, you know, and people used to say to me, how can you tell them apart? And I would turn around and I would say to them, I said, well, Brian has a beard and a little spot on his nose, and Claire, well, red lipstick. That's how I knew the difference. Anyway, darlings, I'm getting this, which means bugger off. And sadly, I haven't got a bigger climax than that. Oh, I do have, if any of you are interested, some freezer bags to put on your feet, just in case you need to use the bathrooms. I know it's really raining this morning. Maybe they've got a leak in the roof. Talking of the rain this morning, I know I've got to go, I'm so sorry. But talking of the rain this morning, my God, didn't it come down? Didn't it? My pussy was soaking this morning. I opened the back door and I said, Foo-foo, come on in. She's sitting there by the fire now, getting lovely and warm. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope I did it right. Did I do it right, boys and girls? Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Love you.
Thank you, Troy. Hey, everybody! Right, we're going to have another very, very quick break, about 10 minutes, get another drink, and we'll see you in 10. Thank you very much.